let's look at the wage bill, because the wage bill has something we has. I mean, it has some people concerned, but also for government as well. This is a catch-22 situation. They want to create more jobs, and means that NaCFO puts pressure on the wage bill. On one end as well, the one that we major donors, them IMF, are telling us cuts down on the wage bill. So how do you think them for able to strike the balance?
Yeah, thank you very much. Before I go to that, Melvin touched on something where maybe I just want for Rob Mott before I answer your question. I think some of we old enough for get some little bit of understanding about this. The IMF, the World Bank, what thing they do now, low-level economic countries like Sierra Leone. Normally, what politicians then they do, then they create an atmosphere whose side then they convince we the electorate then say any government with the IMF and World Bank not support, not a better government. All right, the undertone of that is not explained to the common people them, and the advantages or the merit and demerit of then IMF money them since independent. I want to repeat them. I mean, they don't count structural adjustment programs. I vividly remember countries like Nigeria then withdraw and say no any structural adjustment programs then, and today Nigeria is doing very well. I think what we government get for take as a bold step now for make sure see revenue mobilization, if for be taken into consideration. I don't read through the document. I don't see much of that.
No,
but I mean, we'll come to that.
Revenue mobilization is top on the agenda. In fact, it's so top on the agenda that
yeah, but my brother, when you look at the leakages, it's not a question of talking about the revenue mobilization. Like you small thing where me do now street quickly. If you go to Freetown City Council, you check them small tax way that they take na street. The one way actually they go into the government and the one way they go out of the government. Go to Jawad, leave this place now, go to Freetown City Council and just ask and let them give you. You go find out say what in the government they get is more lesser than what in they go to the hands of the common people.
While that may be true, but okay. I mean, even in this current budget that was presented, we exceed revenue mobilization target. So it does show that yes, we are just not there yet in terms of for whether revenue will mobilize for be enough for support. That's why we always need these outside help.
If that is what government is claiming, then the livelihood of an average Australian for don't improve more than how it is today. If that is what government is claiming, for say we exceed what in will be project. Say the money where they been say we get in terms of revenue mobilization, but we still they rely on the international community. The challenge we have had with past and even this current government is there's so much reliability of the international community for take care of budget expenditure. And that brings me to the question where you ask me. When I've been to go through the current appointment and where His Excellency the President make, a very simple in English for say it's overblown. We had this challenge even in 2018. Now, how you go synchronize the promises where government they make as compared to what in government get for take care of those promises? One, a job creation. We read inside 2021, 2022 audit report. One of the things and where the auditor general been get for come out with was government not they even go through the right policy for employ people them. You get government ministry, department and agencies there where people then they work there, where they not go through the rudiment of employment as far as government is concerned. Now, IMF is saying, no, we're not for take time of how we're not for do what in a way be. But government on the one hand get the moral responsibility for make sure say then certify the electorate them. How is that going to be done? We are sitting quietly and waiting for government for do that. Now I agree with the young man seated on my right hand side where they talk say, if we see those things where then the inside this budget implemented now, how the street of Freetown will look like in the next